saw yesterday, had plenty of sunshine here in the Northland, but if you look off to the west, you notice a system up there. Right now, it's going to be sticking around in Canada, but it's going to start bringing rain here to the Northland now. Don't see too much, mostly just cloud cover making its way on in. Maybe an isolated embedded shower here and there, but we're going to see the chance for some rain as we go into the afternoon. You'll notice once we get into the afternoon, we have, again, some isolated scattered showers become a little bit more prevalent here, and they're mostly going to be staying a little bit further west, probably dissipating a bit once we get further east and northwest Wisconsin in the UP. But what comes overnight is what we're going to really be keeping an eye on, because this is when we're going to start seeing some storm action pick up, especially out here further to the west and especially northwest. And you know those areas, we're also going to see some severe weather. We do have a marginal risk for severe weather for western counties, primarily Aiken up to Kukaching, and even in Kukaching there, just to the west, you also know a sliver of the slight risk. So we can see some damaging winds and some large hail with the storms we see overnight. And as we start to head into Friday, you'll notice that as those rain moves out, we're going to get quite a bit of sunshine for the afternoon. And that's definitely something to keep in mind, because if you look at the winds, we'll notice we're going to see the winds out of the south. They're going to be pretty blustery, gusting up to 20-25 miles per hour at times. So it's going to be a breezy one today. But what it's also going to do is bring up warm, moist air. And you can see those dew points are going to be pushing up into the upper 60s, even low 70s, especially as we start to head towards Friday. And we're also going to see those temperatures really warm up. Not so much today, and that's because we're going to have all that cloud cover. But we can see some spots there. So you can see there Ashton, Ironwood, International Falls getting into the 80s. Not those places will be the specific ones that get into the 80s, but anytime we do get a break in the clouds and we get a bit more of that sunshine this afternoon, can be pushing into the 80s. But as we get into Friday with all that sunshine, most of us are going to be pushing into the 80s. It is going to be quite a warm one outside, especially when you consider how humid it's going to be as well. And this is why our heat index could be pushing into the low 90s, especially as you get further south into northwest Wisconsin. So it's going to be a warm into the week. Meanwhile, the rain is going to be keeping on going. It's going to be pretty active. Saturday, we can see early Saturday, Friday, and the Saturday we kind of discussed. And then look at here as we get into Monday as well, all the way out to Monday, maybe even late Monday going to Sunday, we can see rain. And it does come with a good amount of rain. Today, we have a marginal risk for excessive rainfall, but the odds pick up as we start to head into our Friday and especially into our Saturday as well, where we start to see more of those areas getting the slight risk south of Highway 2 going northwest Wisconsin and the UP. So a good amount of rain will be possible. In fact, we see some areas down here, especially in the southern portions of down here, like further south, getting up to 2 inches, maybe even more in some local spots, getting even 3 inches at times. So a good amount of rain. So we want to keep in mind that over the next coming days, some severe weather will be possible, but the main threat is going to be the excessive rainfall, so some flash flooding can be possible. And now we're going to look at temperatures, because even though the rain is going to be pretty persistent even through the weekend, the warm temperatures, not so much. We're going to have that dip, and you'll notice northern Minnesota side in general is going to see the cooler temperatures, and the winds are going to tell the story like they do with the warmth coming, because as we get to Sunday, those winds are going to pick back up, and right by Lake Superior, you're going to see how strong they are. 30, maybe even 40 mile per hour gusts at times, and they're going to be right off Lake Superior, so we can see the coolness of Lake Superior really start to influence our temperatures for Sunday. And you can see your highs in the 70s, merely as you go further south into northwest Wisconsin, but especially when you're near Lake Superior, highs for 60. So it's going to be a pretty cool day as we head to Sunday. But we're not going to feel it quite yet, because we're going to be warming up through the week, the rest of the week. Those rain chains are going to keep on going, and they're actually, in fact, they're going to keep on going all the way through the weekend.